Right, Chief, a couple of just personnel things first of all. Tim Payne won't travel for this game. Can you just give us the background on his latest injury?
Yeah, very similar to the injury that Oz had a couple of weeks ago with a contusion. Luckily, there was no excessive bleeding or anything like that, so we're kind of hoping he'll be on feed today. Back to normal, and then he, if everything goes well, all the boxes are ticked, he'll be available for Perth for some minutes. Yeah.
Cool. And Oscar Zavada's on the plane. So what can we expect in terms of minutes from him on Sunday, and then maybe on to Perth?
Yeah. Again, it's more about making sure that. Again, ticking all the boxes. I hate saying it, but if he gets through training today and tomorrow, he should be available off the bench for the Macarthur game. But again, a lot needs to go right before that happens.
And Houston Sellis, could he, if needed, play 90 minutes on Sunday?
Yeah, I don't think he's ready at the moment for 90. His last game was on the 21st of January in Costa Rica, and he had a strain in his quad, so that we monitored that from that date, and his expected return to play is actually sooner than we had thought, which is positive. But to put him through 90 at the moment would be too much to expect on him, and as well in terms of acclimatising to the group and so on. I think it's just been unrealistic. But I'm hoping that we get some minutes off the bench from him.
With the language barrier, how do you go about explaining and getting across some complicated tactical stuff?
Well, the good thing is the first couple of weeks when a player comes in the environment, I try not to make it a focal point of giving them too much information. I let them absorb what they see, and then if they ask questions, I'll refine what they ask, or just give a little bit more background. But for me, it's very, very important that it's more about integration. So it's kind of drip feed him over the next month, and then when it gets to we're at a point where I feel comfortable and he feels comfortable, then I can start loading him with a lot of that tactical insight. But in terms of the language barrier and so on, we have Ruben, myself. I speak a little bit of Spanish, not very good, but it's enough that we understand each other, and I can give him some instructions, and just takes it on board.
And you're happy with the way he's fitted in? He's turned up as advertised, and you're happy with him as part of your roster?
Yeah, he's great. Even the small amount of training sessions that he's had, he's been energetic. He's been wanting to prove, quite a bit his intent, the reason why he's here, and he's living up to everything that we expected. So for me, it'd be more about phasing him in nice and easy, and not to expose him too quickly, because again, foreigners coming into the league does take a bit of time and adjustment before they get used to the pace of the A-League.
Macarthur, they're in pretty good form. 7 games unbeaten, as are you, but then you beat them 3-0 at their place pre-Christmas. Can you just outline the threat you expect from them on Sunday, and the way you might counter that?
Well, I think in terms of personnel, they have probably one of the best squads in the league. Uli, a big fan of. I think he's, potentially one of the best 10s in the league, and Johnny Warren, medalist, and we respect him. Jermaine up top is a very good player. Obviously Clayton, quality 6. So a lot of those players get them through their games and get the results. Even last week against Victory, they defended, I thought, very well. They're a tough team to play, like all the other A-League teams. So we go there, and we make sure we give them the respect like we do all other teams. And I think it'll be a match where I think it won't be decided early. It'll be a bit of a grind from both teams. I think they'll respect us as well. So I think the last game was the dynamic was a little bit different in terms of we played more of a counter-attacking game where we felt they had some weakness. I think they've evolved, so we're going to just try something a little bit different this time, just to curb what we think their weakness is at the moment.
Do you enjoy that sort of part of the coaching? Just, I know in game you've mentioned how you like the little tactical battles. In a week of planning, is that something that really invigorates you as you look for ways to counter an opposition, and then to obviously be effective yourselves?
I think it's the fun part of football for me. going in every week and reanalyzing the opponent, there are things like, for example, when we played them last time that I think were noticeable now. They weren't noticeable then, and I felt like after that game there were things that we could have done better. So just a fusion of those things that you calculate during the week, and then on top of that, we have some personnel changes this week. We have some injuries, so it's also about then placing those players in those situations that we think we can hurt them, and then if we don't feel like we have the right personnel, then we have to change the tactics to modify what players we do have. So that's actually the fun part. Fun part is arguing in the office about what the best option is, and then just working and making sure that we've covered all bases, and then when we get to the game, it's like, all right, we've covered everything mentally and every possible scenario, and we'll just see how it goes.
Cool. And just one final one on players. Nico and Alex both came off with a little knocks last week. Are they okay?
Alex at the moment is fine, so I think he still has a little bit of soreness, but I think he should be fine to start. Nico won't start at the moment, so the other one is BK. I think at the way it stands at the moment, he won't play at all against Macarthur, but we'll see. Hopefully he has a bit better recovery tomorrow, then he might be available for some minutes. But there's a couple of knocks at the moment. I think it's just consequence of the fact that we played those 3 games in a short amount of time, the travel being away. So it's kind of caught up, and the fact that we've played a lot of these players for a lot of games consecutively. It's probably getting to that stage of the season where they're niggles can become a little bit more than what they are. So we just need to make sure everyone's healthy.
What's BK's?
So I think he was having problems with his abductor. So I think it was his abductor. So so we just need to monitor it. So he felt it yesterday, and today he was complaining again about it. So he's very unlike him, because he's very he knocks he's pretty good with. So now physio's kind of ruled him out to start. I'm hopeful that we can get some minutes from him, but at the moment it doesn't look like it.
A few questions from Andrew Warman and stuff as well.
Yep.
Newson says that right back's one of his preferred positions. Mm-hmm. Where do you envisage using him this weekend and then throughout the rest of the season?
Well, that'll be determined on how the game goes. So potentially as a right fullback or a 6, and he could even play as a 10.
And can you explain Oscar Zavada's recovery? Obviously you thought it was...
Yeah, so again, we have to be cautious because he's only had 1 session since he's come back. So he went to Auckland for treatment. He got a bit of love and care up there, and it's sped up his recovery. It was better than expected. So they kind of gave us the all clear that he's right to train again. So now it's more about whether or not he gets through these training sessions, and then we'll make a call whether he's available or not. So we put him in the ends on the proviso that everything goes well, and then we'll try to integrate him.
You touched on it a bit there, but his visit to Auckland played a role in his recovery?
Yeah, I think if he stayed here, it would have probably been the same outcome. I just think the fact that he went up there and he had treatment around the clock helped significantly. But it's good news for us and the squad.
And do you feel for fans that the men's and women's games are kicking off simultaneously on Sunday night? Yeah,
I think it's for the die-hard fans, that like watching both games is not a good thing. I think it's important that the fan base gets represented right across, so they can watch both games live. That's good active support. But it is what it is. Sometimes, unfortunately, the planning doesn't go accord and things have to be changed. So, have to live with it, unfortunately.